for us, we've got one on Peacock at noon. That's actually going to be another interesting look into two different teams in the conference. Rutgers at Wisconsin.
Mhm.
Rutgers, a 52-3 win over Wagner last week. That's expected. They somewhat kept it close a little bit early against Michigan, and then the Wolverines eventually pulled away. But it feels like an improved Rutgers team. Gavitt Wimsatt's a little bit more comfortable at quarterback. He was a fairly highly touted recruit going over there to Piscataway. On the other side for Wisconsin, Luke Fickell in year one, and Ches Malusi now out with a fractured
Yeah.
fibula. That means Braylon Allen's your go-to guy, and he's your every down back, and it changes a little bit of what that offense is going to look like. So you look at Rutgers and what they've done. You look at Wisconsin and what they have coming into this game. They are at home in Madison, which is an obvious positive in their direction. But a lot of intrigue to me from the outside looking in this matchup.
There is. I mean, again, it's one of those games where Rutgers will be, the decided underdog, and they're going to have to
Yep.
come in and play clean football and make some big plays. We talk about questions that people had about Ohio State. One of the big questions about Wisconsin was, how's Phil Longo, the new offensive coordinator, how's his offense going to play in Madison? How's it going to work? They're used to being this kind of offense for so long, and now here he comes. Well, they're averaging 427 yards a game on offense, right, in his first year. So they've taken to it well, and they have not abandoned the run game. They're still a run-heavy, run-based offense, but they just have the ability to spread it out and do some different things. And if you really gang up on the run, they can throw the football better than they have in the last couple of years. So, Tanner Mordecai is a dual threat guy. He can beat you with his feet and his arms as a quarterback. Braylon Allen is a big time back, and they always have those offensive linemen. So I think that experiment is paying dividends right now, that offense. And, the bigger questions for Wisconsin so far have been defensively. They're used to playing a real high level brand of defense. They haven't quite reached that point with it's kind of a little bit of a new system, some different nuances to the defense. But they're a really good football team. I think that's a football team. They're much better than they were when they lost to Washington State in week 2 out in Washington. But that they are a team that's just going to get better and better each week that they play.
And Washington State, as we've talked about, is a good football team, a really good football team. And Cam Ward's playing
Yep.
at as high of a level at quarterback as just about anybody in the country. That Pac-12 conference, we can say it every single week on this show. Just the quarterback play is astounding. But that one will be fun.
Yeah.
That's noon on Peacock, so
It will
check that
be.
one out.
Yeah. It will be
Go ahead.
fun because it's good to see Rutgers. It's just good to see Rutgers. What are they, 4-1? They
Yep.
got the loss to Michigan. And it's good to see them get off to this kind of start. It's not been an easy rebuild the second time around for Graciano, but I really like him. I think he's a really good
Great.
football coach. So it's fun to see them get off to a good start.
Great coach. They've got a great facility over there as well. They've tried to build it out as best they can and attract some of that talent from the Northeast. And that always feels like the key. Can they keep those kids from the Northeast in the Northeast as opposed to going and spreading all around? I mean, you
Right.
see all these kids on Notre Dame that are coming from Bergen Catholic or coming from Don Bosco and coming from all these New Jersey based programs. And yet they end up getting dispersed everywhere else. Can Rutgers find a way to start securing some of those commitments from those types of high level players?